Raise a glass, let the worry slip away. Liquid lunch, we're living for today. There's Troy laughing with his gin and a grin, telling stories about where he's been. Boomer's got whiskey, he's loosening his tie, chasing dreams under a midday sky. The bartender knows us, he's mixing with flair. Every sip's a moment we're happy to share. Liquid lunch, pour it smooth, let it flow. Friends round the table where the good times grow. Raise a glass, let the worry slip away. Liquid lunch, we're living for today. The clock don't matter, we're lost in the vibe. Jazz in the air, feel the soul come alive. From martinis to bourbon, we're riding the wave. Stealing this hour, it's the freedom we crave. Sun's still shining, but we're in our zone. This bar's our shelter, our temporary home. One more round before the world calls us back. Savor the moment, keep the blues in the rack. We'll laugh and we'll toast till the afternoon fades. Memories made in these liquid escapades. Liquid lunch, pour it smooth, let it flow. Friends round the table where the good times grow. Raise a glass, let the worry slip away. Liquid lunch, we're living for today. So here's to the daylight, the drinks and the fun. Our liquid lunch, till the next one comes. With a wink and a smile, we'll be back real soon. Chasing that jazz under the high noon.
Ava salut and welcome to another weekend eve, right? It is the eve of the weekend, and I am so thankful that the weekend is almost here. I am so thankful that all of you are here, and let's see what you guys have to say this morning. Starting with Big Al at Big Al Presents, who says, "Happy Thankful Thursday, Liquid Lunchers. Have a great stream, Troy." Well, thank you so much, Big Al. Super appreciate it. Gorilla's Random Thoughts says, "Hopla! Success! Yes! I hope for so much success, like the success I've had in 33 years of marriage to the love of my life." Welcome, Netter of Netters Network. She says, like, share, subscribe, become a member, leave a comment. Gift a membership if you are feeling generous, because for as little as $2 a month, you get to not only support this channel, but every Monday is Members Night at the Movies, where I stream a movie for each one of my members that you have chosen, and we can get together and hang out and watch that movie together. Every Monday is a member stream for my members. Gifted memberships are also welcome. Help Last Call reach 100 members and 2,000 subscribers before the end of the year. If you are not subscribed, please subscribe now. Please share out the stream and ask your friends to subscribe. Mark Malnikoff, if Julie isn't already subscribed, please make sure that she does so as well. I'm really, really trying so hard. It is my mission. It is my battle to achieve 2,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and I'm looking for all of my warriors to assist me in that battle. Another day, another Darsek, and I'm pissed, and I'm going to stay that way. Yep, Mark's gotten called in. He's one of the few people that can close, and he's tired of it. His manager needs to step up and start leading. Like, share, subscribe, and become a member, or I will release the flying targs. Well, they say when targs fly, right? Drive by, like, and a share. Thank you so much. Joe's Atmosphere, he is good people. He is big on the sharing out on the social medias. Hail all, smash the like button, and enjoy the show. Yes, I hope every single one of you does exactly that. How come you have Boomer drinking whiskey when he doesn't drink? You know, he's got to have something in his hand. It says Boomer's got whiskey. It doesn't mean he's drinking it, right? Right? Let's see here. And he does drink from time to time. Hail, Connie Cleary, the bird woman of YouTube, Fluff Chick Productions. Thank you so much for being here. All right. So this isn't exactly something that I'm bringing up as being thankful for, but it's something that I felt should be shared. Let me share my screen here. Let's see. So this is the mugshot of a runaway girl who killed an elderly woman and stole her shoes, claiming it was an accident back in 1939. Have you seen this girl? I heard she went on to murder the old woman's sister with the help of 3 assistants. So be on the lookout. Be on the lookout. This, of course, is not. This was just meant to be a little funny that I thought I'd share with you guys today. This is also not so much truly thankful. I want to be thankful for this. I am hopeful. I am very hopeful. I think that I hope I've gotten this across in the past weeks and months. Well, really, throughout this year, I've been very hopeful that we have turned a corner, that sanity is beginning to return to our municipalities, to our states, to our country, and to this world. And the entertainment industry, right? That includes the parks, like Disney World. So let's look at this. Has Disney finally remembered America? Disney Celebrates America marks a patriotic shift after years of cultural drift. We've been talking about that a lot here. This comes to us from Marvin Montanaro over at That Park Place. He says, for decades, the Walt Disney Company has billed itself as America's storyteller, a studio and a theme park. Empire built on optimism, imagination, and the American dream itself. But over the past few years, that image has come under fire. From removing historical scenes on classic attractions to corporate departments focused on stories that matter, many longtime fans have accused Disney of erasing the very Americana that once defined its spirit. Now, with a sweeping new initiative called Disney Celebrates America, the company is attempting to recapture that original magic. The nationwide campaign kicks off on Veterans Day 2025 and continues through the July 4th weekend of 2026. Marking the nation's 250th anniversary with a coast-to-coast celebration that Walt himself might have smiled upon. According to Disney's official announcement, Disney Celebrates America will unify all of the company's brands from ABC to ESPN, from Disney Plus to National Geographic, in a year-long salute to the nation's history, heroes, and heartland. The initiative will include patriotic programming, park experiences, and philanthropic partnerships, highlighting the people, places, and moments that make our nation special. Disney CEO Bob Iger framed the effort as a return to the ideals that built the company in the first place. That's nice, considering it was under his auspices that they drifted from them in the first place. At its heart, America's story is one of imagination, ambition, and possibility. The same ideals that have guided Disney since the beginning, Iger said in the official press release. Well, it doesn't seem to have been what has been guiding Disney since Iger took over, but let's continue. At both Disneyland Resort and Walt Disney World, the beloved Soarin' attraction will transform into Soarin' Across America, debuting in summer 2026. The updated version will showcase the country's national landmarks and city skylines, from the Grand Canyon to New York Harbor, effectively blending Disney's signature spectacle with a deep sense of national pride. The celebration will culminate on the 4th of July weekend in 2026 with a 24-hour multi-platform broadcast called Disney Celebrates America. The live special will air across Disney's vast network portfolio, including ABC, Disney Channel, ESPN, Freeform, FX, Hulu, and Disney Plus, anchored by World News Tonight host David whatever. Viewers can expect everything from fireworks spectaculars at both U.S. parks to patriotic performances, tributes to veterans, and features spotlighting America's innovators, explorers, and communities. While Disney has always leaned on American optimism, this kind of cross-company patriotic push hasn't been seen since the bicentennial era of the 1970s. In recent years, the company's storytelling and park design choices have often skewed toward globalism and identity narratives, leading critics to say Disney's lost sight of its roots. In contrast, Disney Celebrates America is brimming with classic Americana, veterans, frontier towns, small communities, and the enduring promise of the American dream. The company is even introducing a military-inspired merchandise line, plus an Americana collection launching in May of 2026 at Disney Parks and on DisneyStore.com. Disney is also reinforcing its longstanding support of the U.S. military, donating $2.5 million to Blue Star families to strengthen veteran households. The company will host movie screenings on military bases, offer discounted resort packages for service members, and expand career programs for veterans through SkillBridge and the U.S. Chamber Corporate Fellowship. Those commitments echo Disney's historic relationship with the armed forces, a legacy that stretches back to Walt Disney's own wartime work producing morale films during World War II. Now, this brings up the question that we are all thinking as we read this. Is this really Disney coming home? The timing couldn't be more telling. After years of controversy and corporate turmoil, Disney seems eager to rebuild goodwill with families who once viewed the brand as synonymous with wholesome patriotism. Recent years have seen Disney quietly dismantle much of its traditional Americana across the parks. Rivers of America has been drained, Tom Sawyer Island has been dismantled, and the Stories Matter initiative inserted moral disclaimers on classic films once celebrated as cultural milestones. Now Disney is embracing red, white, and blue again. Literally. The company is betting that families still crave the magic of Main Street USA, the same simple vision of unity and hope that Walt Disney designed as a tribute to the nation that made dreams possible. So is this patriotic push a heartfelt homecoming or a carefully calculated PR strategy? It's a bit of both, maybe. To be fair, Disney Celebrates America is not just a park overlay, it's an all-hands marketing movement for one of the biggest corporations in the world. There's a clear business incentive, higher park attendance, stronger merchandise sales, and a re-energized U.S. audience. I'm sorry, but these animatronics, they really got to work on that stuff. I swear. Nowadays, with the ability to 3D print things and even just 3D modeling things, it's time to start upping their game. It really is. But many hope this may mark a genuine change in direction. The company is aligning its public messaging with classic American ideals: faith in progress, admiration for the military, celebration of freedom, rather than the divisive cultural campaigns that have dogged Disney for the past half decade. Look familiar? If this shift sticks, Disney might finally be rediscovering what made its brand timeless in the first place. If not, it may be remembered as nothing more than a marketing stunt wrapped in fireworks and flag bunting. For now, though, millions of Americans are just happy to see the Walt Disney Company celebrating the United States rather than apologizing for it. And that, in itself, might be worth celebrating. And something to be thankful for. Just my thoughts. Would love to know what you guys are thinking. Good to see all of you here today, saying hi to each other. Plop. And by all means, I also want to know if there is anything in particular you all are thankful for. I got a good night's sleep last night. I was complaining a little earlier in the week that I didn't make it all the way through the night. I ended up getting up early. Even the night that I had a really decent night's sleep, I was still dragging the whole day. Feeling a little bit better. It could be partly because there's more sun today than usual. Honestly, that makes a difference. I don't know if anyone else ever notices that. Or they are simply seeing which way the wind is blowing. Or did they purge the House of Mouse and restore honor? Perfectly valid. There's been some purging happening. Not as much as at other places. For example, the federal government right now, which is definitely purging people that aren't on board with the current administration. And honestly, I feel that's the way it should be. Barack Obama said that elections have consequences. But it seems like it only has consequences when the Democrats win. When Republicans win, historically, it's been just business as usual. And it's about time that both parties say, you know what, I'm in charge. I was voted into office, and I'm firing the previous administration and replacing them with my own people. And you can expect that to happen in 4 to 8 years again. That's the way it should be. I'm getting tired of these unelected bureaucrats running things indefinitely for life, as if they're entitled to their jobs. That being said, we're seeing a lot of companies. Look at just check out Culture Casino's coverage about CBS today, and this new Barry, what's her name, that's taking over, and she is very clearly cleaning house. And keep in mind, this woman is not what you would consider a conservative. At best, she is very centrist, with some left leanings. But she is a contrarian who feels strongly that the news ought to be the news, and it should be unbiased. And anyone who doesn't agree with her can leave, and they are. And we're seeing that in so many businesses that are realizing that the divisive political messaging that they've been trying to do for the past 5 to 10 years has been killing their businesses, especially with the crazy missteps like you know all the ones, Bud Light and Cracker Barrel and Jaguar and all the others, just losing almost their entire businesses overnight. Saying, yeah, you know what, let's shift back to traditional values because that was working for us before. And maybe Disney is being forced because they have no choice. Every day, and again, I encourage you. I draw so much from that park place because they're doing the good work of bringing us real pop culture news, truly researched and mostly unbiased. And they are constantly reporting on how the Disney parks are empty, how sales are down, how their movies are constantly losing money. I think only one movie of theirs made any money this year. Every other movie has lost money. You can't continue to lose money, and stay in business. What was it that Margaret Thatcher said about socialism? Eventually you run out of other people's money. Well, that's what's happening with the non-government organizations that are propping up companies like Disney. Eventually, it's like, look, you got to start making some money here. We really need to, keep you in business. The new message at the mines: if you are unhappy with the new direction, please find your way to the nearest airlock. Yeah, and see, that is how they purge. Look, companies would prefer that you quit yourself rather than them quitting you. Because if they have to do a termination, that means unemployment that they have to pay into. They would rather you leave and not have to deal with that. But they'll get rid of you if they have to. So they usually put the pressure on. They announce, this is the way we're going. If you don't like it, leave. That usually gets enough of the activists mad enough to just up and leave because they don't think it through. And the ones that are able to stick it out may find things get better after a certain period of time. You still got to speak up for yourself, but be thankful for the changes when they come, when they are good changes, and speak out against bad changes. That's just the way it always should be. It is about that midpoint. I want to refill my glass, and I want to let you guys know what's coming up. I'll be back in just under 3 minutes.
You are watching Liquid Lunch, streaming every weekday at noon Central, 1 p.m. Eastern. Let's sip together.
This week on Netters Network, we'll be talking with our average horror fan who wants to share his love of horror, movies, figures, posters, collectibles, and his cats. It's the Horror Cat Dad, this Thursday night at 9 Central, 10 Eastern on Netters Network.
This week on Saturday Night at the Movies, a small town is plagued by brutal killings spreading fear and suspicion through the close-knit community. Marty Koslaw, a paraplegic boy, is convinced the murders are the doings of a werewolf. Join us for Stephen King's Silver Bullet this week on Big Al Presents Films with Friends, Saturday night at 9 Central, 10 Eastern on Big Al Presents.
Every Sunday evening, Aged Boomer and Last Call with Troy Pacelli bring you the rundown of the week's geek news, or at least what they think is interesting. You may have heard about it elsewhere, but Boomer and Pacelli spin it like only two old geezers can. It's Geeky Geezers, every Sunday evening at 8 Central, 9 Eastern.
This week on Live from Sparkwood and 21, we are going down the rabbit hole. In a nameless city deluged by a continuous rain, 3 rabbits live with a fearful mystery. Rabbits is a web series of 8 horror episodes created by David Lynch, who referred to it as a sitcom. We'll judge for ourselves this Tuesday at 7:30 Central, 8:30 Eastern on Deleted Scenes and Associates.
With their Piling 50 pacification program going from strength to strength, the Federation's expansion continues relentlessly. In desperation, Avon calls a conference of all the non-allied planets. United, they could effectively manage all the necessary antitoxin, but their shaky alliance hinges on one person, Zukan, and it is uncertain where the true loyalties lie of this mighty warlord. This week on Last Call presents Blake 7, Tuesday at 10 p.m. Central, 11 Eastern.
We now return to our liquid lunch.
I want to share this with you because it is directly related to what we were just talking about. Walt Disney World's popularity plummets over 26% in the last 5 years, according to Forbes. Data shows growing interest in Dollywood. Now, why is that significant, and how does that relate to the previous article? Well, we had already established that Disney, as a motivating factor, they're losing business. This says over 26%, and that's according to Forbes. But in addition to that, Dollywood, which a lot of people consider to be a very patriotic, very, down-to-earth Americana type of location. Basically everything that Streets of America and, the everything that Disney has been looking to downplay, people are going to Dollywood for. So just saying, I want to say real quick hi to Geek Flag with Nate Knows, who just arrived. Says, like, share, subscribe, become a member, and if you are going to give a super chat of, say, $5 or more, why not give a membership and help the community grow? Yes, that would be so wonderful. Honestly, there are so many people that have really joined us because they've been gifted memberships. Suzanne, welcome. Good to see you. I hope you are having a wonderful afternoon and a wonderful liquid lunch. I assume you're drinking something, whether it's an adult beverage or otherwise. But let's real quick take a look at this and see if Marvin Montanaro comes to some of the same conclusions that I did. According to a new Forbes analysis by Carolyn Reed, Walt Disney World's theme parks have seen a staggering 26% drop in popularity over the last 5 years, a trend that raises serious questions about the health of Disney's once unbeatable park division. Holy cow, this is how Disney has lost to Universal. The graph shows the volume of online services for the Magic Kingdom in blue compared to the Universal Studios Florida in red over the past 5 years. It's damning. Read the background in our Forbes feature, and there is a link right there. Go to that park place for this article where they've got the link to their source. While global tourism has rebounded in the post-lockdown era, let me repeat that. Global tourism has rebounded in the post-lockdown era. So there is no, this is because of COVID. That's why it's... No. Globally, parks and entertainment and industry have rebounded. We're back at pre-pandemic levels in just about everything. You cannot lay claim to that any longer. Leia Plus Size says, after Troy and all in the chat, hope all are having a good afternoon. We are thankful that you could join us today, Leia Plus Size. So anyway, global tourism has indeed rebounded in the post-lockdown era. The data shows the opposite for Disney. Walt Disney World in Florida has seen double-digit declines in popularity since 2019, with the House of Mouse slipping far faster than its rival Universal Orlando and Dollywood in Tennessee. Tennessee, a state that Netter and I would very much like to move to. When you drill down into the numbers, the pictures get even bleaker. At Walt Disney World, the most visited theme park on Earth, Magic Kingdom has fallen by 21%. Epcot has recently completed a year-long overhaul, is down more modest 4.2%. Hollywood Studios, home to Star Wars Galaxy's Edge and Toy Story Land, has dropped a shocking 43%. Wow. The hits just keep on coming for Star Wars Land. And Animal Kingdom, once praised for its immersive world building, has seen a collapse of 52%. These declines come at a time when analysts expected pent-up post-lockdown demand to drive massive surges in attendance. Instead, Disney's numbers reveal a prolonged cooling of public enthusiasm. I think that has more to do with the brand and what they're doing at the parks than anything else. For decades, Disney's theme parks were recession-proof. Families saved for years to experience the magic. But in recent years, the company's aggressive pricing, paid skip-the-line systems, and shifting cultural messaging may have alienated many longtime visitors. We've talked about this on this channel. It's not just those of us that dig into the weeds and pay close attention. The average so-called normie is starting to notice the messaging. The message. They're noticing it, and they don't like it. They don't want to have to talk to their children about bedroom issues. They don't. And things they know their children are not ready for. The paid skip the lines doesn't make a lot of sense to pay for a line skipping feature when there are no lines because business is so slow. Anyway. And with the rising prices, people are saving years to go to Disney World, only to be very, very disappointed and feeling overcharged. So they're not inclined to do that ever again. That's what's really hurting business. The introduction of Genie Plus and Lightning Lane, which replaced the free Fast Pass system, drew criticism as fans found themselves paying extra to experience what was once included. See, and I'm of two minds about that. I understand having a premium service. You can pay extra to skip lines, but there has to be value there. If I'm going to pay extra, I should actually be getting something for that extra. And there's no reason you can't have two different systems. You can have a paid one that skips over everything, and you can have a free one that's an app that just helps you manage the free pass holders, right? So if you have the paid service, you skip over everybody. You just go to the front of the line, boom. Whereas if you've got the free service, you can look and see how long the line is and go, you know what, I'm just going to go over here where the line is shorter, and I'll come back later for this one. Maybe I'll put do something in the app that'll ding me when and tell me when the lines go down or whatever the case is. But what do I know? They don't pay me to market and manage their business. I'll add to that a series of high-profile controversies about the company's political stances, and the result is an erosion of goodwill that no fireworks show can fix. See? That's the other connection to this, right? Even the CEO, Bob Iger, promised renewed focus on the parks. Forbes' numbers painted a very different picture. One of dwindling popularity and uneven recovery. Disney has maintained record-high ticket prices even as wait times shrink and crowd levels visibly drop across the resort. Of course, the ticket price explosion is helping to keep the parks financially stable even as fewer guests attend. I'll tell you what, you keep raising prices so that only very, very wealthy people can come, so you have much smaller numbers. Well, guess what? You also need less and less employees, so you can start getting rid of employees and saving money that way too. but that is a recipe for ending your business. Meanwhile, Universal's Florida parks are weathering the storm with minimal damage, and in some cases, none at all. Universal Studios Orlando saw over a 2.5 dip in popularity, and Islands of Adventure held perfectly steady at 0% decline. And now, Universal's new Epic Universe Park, which opened in March of 2025, stands poised to flip the script entirely. Early attendance reports show strong numbers, and analysts already expect the park to drive record tourism to Central Florida, much of it siphoned directly from Walt Disney World. I've promised Netter that in March when we go down for MegaCon, we're going to take a day and I'm going to take her to that Harry Potter stuff that they got going and see if we can't check out some of that Universal Monsters too. Early attendance, said that. But Dollywood. While Disney parks are losing momentum, one Tennessee destination is quietly becoming the new American success story in theme park tourism, Dollywood. There's Dahley. How sweet. And my understanding is that when she's around, she makes public appearances all the time. She just shows up unannounced. According to Google Trends data, public interest in Dollywood has skyrocketed since 2020, climbing from a baseline of 32 to 93, a 191% increase in just 5 years. In the same period, Walt Disney World's searches have steadily declined, reflecting the same cooling trend outlined in Forbes' attendance analysis. It's a stunning reversal. Once considered a regional attraction, Dollywood is now regularly outperforming Disney World in online interest, a clear indicator of where families are choosing to spend their time and money. Dolly Parton's namesake park has leaned into affordability, family-friendly values, and hospitality, all while Disney doubled down on price hikes and upcharges. And here's that graph that they were talking about before. Dollywood just shooting up and Walt Disney staying even, slipping down. It's incredible. Dollywood's model emphasizes heart over hype, seeming to be paying off. While Disney trims entertainment offerings and raises ticket costs, Dollywood continues adding new attractions like Big Bear Mountain and Heart Song Lodge, expanding without alienating its core audience. And when you think about the attractions that Disney has pulled from its park, it sounds a lot like the ones that Dahley is putting in. And you see a 191% increase in business there. Disney's taking notice. I bet that this is a big part of their change, their change in mindset. Yeah, Big Al's got it right on, hit it right on the head. She is a true American treasure, no doubt about it. Should we be shocked that the Disney parks decline? They have been pushing us as fans and families away for almost a decade now. Exactly right. I find it so sad how Disney, under Iger, just little by little has taken away what is Disney, etc. Splash Mountain and Riverboat, and so forth. Right. While Dahley is expanding very, very similar attractions. Disney has been making the same mistake for years that Cracker Barrel tried to make, and that they've been trying their back on their core, turning their back on their core customers to chase small modern audience. That never does materialize and isn't enough to replace what they lose. Making less people paying more is not going to work in the long run. They are going to have less and less people willing to pay more and more money. That's absolutely true. Especially as the majority of people are starting to turn to Universal and Dollywood. And the wealthy are like, wow, was this really worth the trip? Sometimes the lemon isn't worth the squeeze. I'm going to be blunt here. Disney has been catering its entertainment to the fringes of social society, and how many single, transgender, neurodivergent, non-binary wackos go to Disneyland or can afford it. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly right. For years, Disney executives treated Universal as a secondary player and Dollywood like a non-entity. Competitors, yes, but not a true rival to the Disney empire. That's no longer true. Universal's strategy of investing heavily in immersive IP-driven lands, from Super Nintendo World to the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, has turned it into a genuine destination brand. Meanwhile, Dollywood's embrace of hospitality and family-friendly values has led to a massive spike in its online popularity. I have said it before, I will continue to say it. Customer service covers over a multitude of sins. People complain about companies that aren't making them feel appreciated. But if you go to a place that has good customer service and they mess up, you forgive very, very quickly. By contrast, Disney has been slower to debut large-scale new attractions, focusing instead on incremental updates and retheming existing ideas. Even diehard fans have started to voice frustration online about a lack of originality and an over-reliance on intellectual property that doesn't resonate with families the way Pirates of the Caribbean or Haunted Mansion once did. A 26% drop in popularity isn't a blip, it's a red flag. Forbes findings suggest that Disney's U.S. parks are losing the trust and excitement of yesterday's guests, even as Universal and Dollywood continue to build momentum. If trends continue, Universal Orlando could become America's top tourism destination by the end of the decade, with Dollywood coming into its own as a contender. For Disney, a company that once defined family entertainment, now they defy it, that would be an unthinkable reversal of fortune. The numbers don't lie, and the crowds aren't searching for Disney magic like they used to. Absolutely true. Absolutely true. Let's see here. Welcome, FKHC 2005, otherwise known as Tim. Celebrating 1 month of membership. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your patronage. Super appreciate it. A coworker went to Universal Park instead of Disney World. More bang for the buck, and her granddaughter loved it. And a Disney spokesperson would probably say that's just anecdotal, but it seems to be more the norm than anything else. Customer service and sales are two sides of the same coin. Treat your staff like crap and create poor morale. They in turn don't care and treat customers like crap. Yeah, seen it often enough. That's absolutely true. Look, you can have the nicest smile on your face to your customers, but if you don't treat the staff well, they're not going to be too pleasant with the customers. They're not going to enjoy their job, and you're going to lose good talent. It's all part of the machine, right? You can't make sure that the brakes work really, really well and then never change the oil, right? You got to take care of all the machine, There is no more Disney magic. We have seen the man behind the curtain, and his name is Bob. That is true. That is true. I would draw an analogy to Twin Peaks with that, too. I'm thankful I caught you at lunchtime. Well, I am thankful that you were able to make it in here as well, Curtis. Salute to you. So remember, everyone, hit that like button, share out the stream, because even if I'm no longer live, the stream will still be up. People can still check it out and see what we talked about. I will have the links to the articles that we looked at below for your references, and so that you can click on the links that are contained within those articles. Make sure you follow that Park Place, because, like I said, they're doing the best work. You start to see all of these trends. This is why I keep saying, this article connects to that article, which connects to what we've been talking about for the past 5 years. And sometimes the customers will treat you like crap because some of them think they are better than the peons. Well, here's the thing that you got to ask yourself. What's more important, their smile or their money? Do you want them to come back? That's what business is all about. And sometimes a kind word turns back wrath. You treat them well enough, they may second guess how they are treating you. So there you go. That is it for today. I hope you have had a wonderful lunch. I know you guys all have stuff you have to get back to. I do too. Tonight, Netter's Network, Horror Cat Dad. That should be a lot of fun. And tomorrow, Last Call. Still don't know what I'm going to be drinking, but we will be talking about some supernatural things that have been in the news this past year, and should be very, very interesting. Guys, thank you so much for being here. Again, hit that like button on the way out. Make sure you're still subscribed. Share me out to all your friends. Let's get as many people in here as possible. 2,000 subscribers by the end of the year, 100 members. We can do it. I know we can. I'm counting on all of you guys. Take care, and I'll see you on the next one.
Goodbye. Hope to see you again real soon.
So here's to the daylight, the drinks and the fun, our liquid lunch, till the next one comes. With a wink and a smile, we'll be back real soon, chasing that jazz under the high noon.